Hello and welcome to Lesson 4, page 40. This is the song titled See the Sea by the Sea in our Level 1 book. And I want to say congratulations, students, on making it to your very first staff song in our Level 1 book. I also want to mention that there's another video attached in this course that reviews the staff, and it goes over all the terminology that we're going to need to know as we review the song in this video. And if this is still feeling very new, I would recommend that you watch through that video first so that all these new staff terms are going to make sense to us, because you're actually going to be able to play this song very, very easily when we review what note it is we're playing, because it is very simple. But we are starting slow because we want to slowly learn all the symbols and what they mean and how we use them in our reading. Okay, so be patient with those. You can review that video and then come back here. But again, don't let any of this new information frustrate you. You're going to get it in no time as we keep reviewing these songs together. Okay, so let's start first with just the rhythms we have in this song. We have quarter notes, also known as our walk notes, that are worth 1 beat. Looks like we also have half notes that are 2 beats. And here we have looks like a half note, but it's a dotted half note. It has that dot next to the half note, and dotted half notes, remember, are worth 3 beats. Very good. Well, the note we're going to need in this song, students, is middle C. And this is middle C on the staff. When you see a note in this place on the treble staff or the bass staff, well, it is called middle C. Well, it's actually called middle C because it sits in the middle of our 2 staffs. It's actually not the dead center of our pianos, funny enough, but it's very close. So we should know how to find middle C at this point, but if we need a refresher, remember you can stretch your hands out as wide as they'll go on your piano, then bring them to the center of your body. That group of 2 black keys that we land closely to, the first white key underneath, is middle C. And that's the note we're going to be using for the song today. That's it, only middle C. So there's 2 different ways you can play. You can play with 1 finger. Usually our pointer finger is a very strong finger to use. Or if you want to start developing your fingers to use what we call a 5-finger pattern, that's where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of our fingers are all placed on the keys. You can actually use the side of your thumb, is what we do when we play the piano with our thumb, just like this. You can use your thumb on C as well. Now this may feel very strange to hold your hand like this because we haven't done it yet, and if it does, no worries. It will feel totally normal eventually. But about 100 pages into this book, students, they are going to require that we use even both our hands on the piano. And at this moment, you might think, what? That sounds way too hard. But as you make progress, you are going to get it, I promise. So let's start with our note middle C. But actually, before we review any extra rhythms or notes, we're going to talk about the symbols on the staff. And I'm going to do this in a lot of songs so that all of these symbols become comfortable to you and you can name them and you can tell your teacher what they mean and how they work, and they're going to be so impressed. So let's start here. You've probably seen this symbol before on, I've seen them on like car magnets and maybe at school, different things like that. This is called the treble clef. And if you remember from the other staff video, treble clef means right hand. So we have to use our right hand to play this song. If you're left-handed, don't worry. Use the right hand now. There'll be some left-hand songs that you're going to be probably a little stronger at than some of your classmates when they have to use their left hand. So don't worry if you're left-handed. Use your right hand for this song. It's only going to take 1 finger. And treble clef means right hand. Well, right next to that, we have this symbol. Looks like a fraction, maybe, if we've seen those in math class. If not, that's okay. This is called a time signature in music. And it has really 2 meanings. The top number tells us how many beats are in a measure. What is a measure? Well, I'll draw. This is a measure right here. Whatever's in between 2 of these lines, and those lines we call bar lines. You might be like, oh my goodness, there's so much new terminology. Well, that's why we're going to keep reviewing it so we know what our teacher means when we're talking about different parts of our song. So the top number means 3 beats per measure. And let's count and see if there's 3 beats in every measure. 1, 2, 3. Hey, 3 beats there. That checks out. 1, 2, 3. Hey, there's 3 beats there. 1, 2 beats for the half note and 1 beat for the walk note. 2 plus 1 is 3. That checks out. And the dotted half note is worth 1, 2, 3 beats. Hey, it's like a rule book, that time signature, and our song is following the rules. There's 3 beats in every measure. Now, the bottom number, I always find that this one's the trickiest one for students to get, and it does take a couple of times to talk through it before we do. The bottom number tells you what kind of note gets a beat, and a 4 actually means a walk note or a quarter note. So what it's telling you, students, is, hey, 1 beat means 1 walk note. So each measure has to have at least 3 walk notes inside of the measure, or something equivalent to those 3 walk notes, such as a half note and a walk note, or maybe a dotted half note, right? And so anytime there's 3 beats, that equals 1 measure. Okay, we've reviewed our treble clef symbol, our time signature symbol. We've talked about the bar lines that create a measure. I think it's time for us to get into some music. So starting off, we have 6 walk notes in a row, followed by a half note, then a walk note, then a dotted half note. Hey, let's try and clap the whole line. I bet you're super good at your rhythms by this point. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, clap with me. Walk, 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 hold for 2, walk, hold, 2, 3, and off. And that is how we clap through our first line. And now we're going to try it using our note middle C. Make sure you're using your right hand. I'm going to use this 5-finger pattern to play. You can use just 1 finger if you want to. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Walk, 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 hold for 2, walk, hold, 2, 3, and off. Very good. And remember, this is all middle C, the same C over and over again, because middle C is on this line on the staff. This is a line note, we like to call it, because there's a line going through it. And what is that line called? Here's another new piece of terminology. The lines that are above and below the staff like this, we call those ledger lines. So that's another one that you'll hear from your teachers now that we're on the staff. Okay, and now it looks like in the second line we have a half note, a walk note, a dotted half note for 3, another half note, a walk note, and a dotted half note. Let's clap those rhythms together, starting with our half note. 1, 2, 3, here we go. Hold for 2, walk, hold, 2, 3, hold for 2, walk, hold, 2, 3, and off. And now let's try it on our piano. 1, 2, 3, here we go. Hold for 2, walk, hold, 2, 3, hold for 2, walk, hold, 2, 3, and off. Hey, did you recognize a pattern there? I sure did. We had hold for 2, walk, and then a dotted half note, hold for 2, walk, and then a dotted half note. Now, the third line is the same as the first line, so let's go ahead and play it on our pianos. Hands ready. 1, 2, 3, here we go. Walk, 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 hold for 2, walk, hold, 2, 3, and off. Great work. And looking at our last line, we have a half note to a walk note, half note to a walk note, and then 2 dotted half notes. Let's go ahead and just give it a try on our pianos. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, here we go. Hold for 2, walk, 2, walk, hold, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, and off. Great work. And now we're going to go back to the beginning and try the full song. Hands ready. 1, 2, 3, here we go. Walk, 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 hold for 2. Walk, hold, 2, 3, line 2, hold for 2. Walk, hold, 2, 3, hold for 2. Walk, hold, 2, 3, walk, 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 hold for 2, walk, hold, 2, last line, hold for 2, walk, hold for 2, walk, hold, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, and off. Congratulations on completing the song See the Sea by the Sea, and I will see you on the next song.